41 is an organization of New Mexico's best and most professional interscholastic coaches. Coaches across work daily to help our student athletes excel in the classroom, on the field of play, and in our communities. Students that participate in interscholastic activities attain higher grades, higher graduation rate.
All right, welcome back. Wally Drangmeister to the ABQ show. We are here with, we didn't know what to put in your lower third, Joe, and I'm going to just say, Joe Harge, legend. Welcome.
Well, infamous is probably better, but thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, Joe, you have a famous last name, and when people talk about you, let's just, if people don't know, and most people do, just talk about the family involved in basketball. This is the state tournament.
Well, this is so nostalgic for me coming in this building. You start with, as I walk around, I see pictures of my dad who played here and took that team to the finals of the NIT in '64. And most people, a lot of people are younger; they don't remember that now.
And that's Ira Harge Sr.
Ira Harge Sr. And then my brother won a state championship in '82. We got beat. We were ranked #1 in the state, got beat, and that was the team I was on in '83 by Taos.
Yeah, and what school was that?
St. Pius.
Yes, St. Pius, exactly.
Okay. Then '84, we lost. My junior year, we lost to the Albuquerque Academy in the finals here, and I think they were 30-1 or 31-1. Yeah. Had a really, really good team. Coach Brown, Mike Brown, did just a terrific job, and his sons, Greg, they're playing. They're both coaching now, Greg and Danny. And then we won it in '85. We went undefeated. We were 3A, and there was 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A. We beat Cibola, Sandia, and Farmington, who were the 1, 2, and 3 in 4A that year, and we went undefeated. So,
yes.
So it was good.
All right. Now, I know that St. Pius was not your last stop in basketball. Talk about college
No,
now.
So I played at Oregon State under legendary coach Ralph Miller. Coach Miller was the winningest coach in America when I played for him. He had more wins than Bobby Knight, Mike Krzyzewski. He was the winningest coach in America. And we were ranked, all 4 years we were ranked top 20 in the country. Never won the Pac-12. Well, it's Pac-12 now. The Pac-10.
It was Pac-10 back then, yeah.
Because there was a group in Arizona that was pretty good. Was pretty good at the time, and UCLA was pretty good at the time. But those were good battles. After my last year, Mel Daniels, the great Mel Daniels here from New Mexico, brought me in to the Indiana Pacers. I was in camp with them, got released, went to Europe, came back. Played in the minors here, went back to Europe, came back with the Denver Nuggets for a brief time, and then went back over to Europe for about 6 or 7 years and decided that it hurt a lot to play. Yeah. And I knew I wanted to get into coaching. It's an interesting thing, and I'm probably getting a little bit ahead of myself. A lot of people always say with my family name, my brother having won back-to-back state championships, and then what we did at New Mexico Highlands, they say that you guys are coaches.
Yes.
And I don't think that's true. We're teachers, and my mom was a lifelong educator, and she was a teacher. And I think we're probably more educators, and basketball, my brother and myself, basketball just happens to be our vehicle. Yeah. So, I bounced around coaching Division I at University of Idaho, University of Arkansas Little Rock. I was fortunate enough to get the head coaching job of the Arkansas Rim Rockers of the NBA D-League. Won the championship my first year. My second year, Mr. Michael Cooper here in Albuquerque with the Albuquerque Thunderbirds won the championship. And I left Arkansas, and I had the most strenuous, longest, toughest job interview ever. Michael Cooper called me and said, "You want to come home?" And I said, "Yep." And I said, "I'll be there in 2 weeks."
All right, there you go.
So Coop hired me here with the Thunderbirds, and that was it was just so phenomenal. You have guys like Michael Cooper, Marvin Johnson, who was just here, who was just on. You had all these guys that become mentors, and how can you not learn from Coop? 5 NBA rings.
Yes.
The late Dennis Johnson, when I was in the D-League, was just phenomenal to me. 6 NBA rings. So you have 11 NBA rings, and these guys are tutoring you and teaching you about the game, and you hear the stories, and it's just amazing. My basketball life has just been amazing. So.
Now, you became a Cowboy a little to the north of Albuquerque. Talk about that experience.
You know what? So Ed Munzanatis, who's now the Associate Athletic Director here at UNM, and I've known Ed since 1988, since the mid to late 80s. And I was just leaving the D-League, and I was actually scouting for the NBA. And Ed called me and said, "I think I'm going to get the athletic director job at Highlands." I said, "Great." And so he did. And a couple times during that year, in between scouting assignments, he'd call me and say, "Hey, let's go watch a game. Let's go watch this Highlands team play." And unfortunately, they weren't very good that year. They were 1-26, and he kept saying, "Well, I may have to make a change at the end of this year." And And he kept hinting at it. And I said to him, I said, Ed, I'm not interested in Division II basketball. I'm not interested in moving up to Las Vegas. I wanted to either stay on the Division I level or the NBA level. Well, the NBA sent me to the Philippines for 6 weeks, and I get an email. And the email just simply said, do you want the job or not?
Right.
And I said, my job interviews seem to be awful lengthy. So actually I emailed, or I looked it up, and then I called the NCAA, and I said, what is the greatest turnaround in NCAA history? And they said it's 17 and a half games. Not sure where the half game comes from, but
right.
Okay. 17 and a half games. And I had a cell phone. I had an international cell phone, and I called Ed immediately, and I said, I'll do it. I said, I'll be there. This was like a Saturday. I said, I'll be there Thursday. So I flew in, drove up to Vegas, sat in a little diner with Henry Sanchez and all the old timers where he used to hold court almost every morning. And I sat with Coach, and I just listened for 2 hours. Tell me about the town. Tell me about the school. Then I walked into Ed's office, signed the contract, and this was the only time I said this to him. I said, I'm going to break the record, and I'm going to win 20.
Right.
And Ed said, Ed goes, no. He goes, you don't have the pieces. You're late in recruiting, because this is in May. He says, you're late in recruiting. But little did he know, I had already been on the phone with Chris Dunn and Albuquerque's Roman Andrade, and I'd already lined up 6, 7, 8 kids.
Right.
Chris Newsom, who was here, who's playing professionally over in the Philippines now. We had a really good group that I'd already had lined up, and it just, it was just terrific. Roman won every award you can win in Division II basketball, short of National Player of the Year. He was Conference Player of the Year, unanimous 2-time All-American, unanimous 2-time All-Conference. He was great.
All right, there we go. We're having a little mic problem, so I think we got it.
Oh, we got it?
All right.
Yeah, so we did. We set the record. We good?
All right.
Perfect.
All right,
so
good deal.
We were fortunate enough. We set that NCAA record for the greatest turnaround in NCAA history. We had 5 of 6 winning seasons when I was up there. Went to the NCAA tournament. Went to the RMAC championship game, and I have to give a huge shout out to the Cowboys, who, as a 7 seed, went and won it this year.
Yes.
And are playing today. I think they play at 3 or at 5 today against West Texas A&M, and I know how difficult it is to play because I got my head beat in down there once or twice. So good luck to Coach Snow and the Cowboys, and hopefully they'll do well.
Yeah, and it is interesting when people talk to you. A lot of them know your brother. A lot of them know about your dad. But you've had such a fantastic career, and it's just really a pleasure to get to sit down and visit with you. Like I say, I knew of you, and for those of you who don't know, my dad was a small college coach at Western New Mexico, longtime rival of Highland.
Court's named after him.
Yeah, Drags Court there,
Yep.
there in Western New Mexico. And, you mentioned the late Henry Sanchez, one of my dad's best buddies, and it's one of those the only people that you enjoy beating more than people that are that you don't like are those that are your best friends in the coaching fraternity, and they used to get after it. So.
It's funny because you really do. You get after each other, and you're barking at each other, and then after the game, you go have a beer, and I've been beat by friends of mine, and I remember there's a friend of mine who it was rumored that he was going to lose his job, and he hadn't beaten me when I was at Highlands, and he hadn't beaten me, and we went up there and played him, went to their place and played him, and he finally beat me. And, I felt bad. Of course I'm a competitor, and I felt bad, but honestly, I was hoping that win saved his job. Yes. Unfortunately, it didn't, but, it's okay. It's funny because I brought my brother into coaching. He wasn't coaching. So he came when I took the job at Highlands. I said to him, I need an assistant coach. And, the great thing about being a head coach, and you know this, in your family, you don't want all yes men. You don't want guys that go, yeah, coach, yeah, you're the greatest coach. It's perfect. Yes. Well, he's my older brother. He knows basketball. We grew up playing together. He'll be the first one to tell me, that's stupid, or no. So it was terrific bouncing ideas off each other, and we've been able to do that with him now, being a head coach.
And in the 2 minutes we have left, what is his situation here in this great facility and this great event? So tell us, where is he coaching and what's happening?
He's at Pecos High School. He's playing in his 4th consecutive state championship game tomorrow. He's won. He lost the first one. This will be the 4th. Yes. He lost the first one. He's won 2 in a row, and he's got to play against a really just terrific Newcomb team, and both teams are fast-paced and getting up and down. And I'm super excited. Super excited for him. We sit and talk about it, and I help him, break down film as much as I can, and so it'll be a fun one. I can't tell you how proud I am of him.
Well, it's just been a fantastic time visiting with you, Joe. Really appreciate you coming on the ABQ show.
Absolutely.
look forward to seeing your brother coach tomorrow, and hopefully good things will be in store for the Harge family tomorrow.
Absolutely. We got Robertson versus Santa Fe Indian Girls, and his stepdaughter is playing right now. And so this will be a fun one, and tomorrow will be a fun one. This time in Albuquerque is great. Come into the pit for the state tournament. You can't beat it.
Yep.
Thanks for having me.
Have a great one.
All right.